Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be working on page 62. And we're going to be focusing on using these benchmarks to compare two fractions on the number line. In this benchmark we are discussing is going to be revolving all the way to 0 and all the way to 2 whole. So this benchmark is going to focus primarily on knowing that our fractions are becoming improper fractions or fractions greater than 1. And we're going to have to make some mixed numbers here. So let's get into the first set, and I'm going to be putting this line here just so that I can break my number lines up so they don't get too hectic or crazy. So let me actually make that line just a little bit straighter. There we go. So let's go into our first set of problems. 2/5 and 6/8. And I'm going from 0 to 2 and cutting this in one whole. And this is representing 1/2, and this is representing 1 and 1/2. Okay? So from this number line, we're going to be focusing on 2/5 to begin with. This is going to be 0/5, and this is going to be 5/5. And with that information, we don't have a half here yet. We haven't taught you how to do decimals, so you should be able to see at least that 2/5 is closer to 0/5. I'm going to probably put it right here. Okay? Perfect. Awesome. Let's do 6/8. So remember, we're using these benchmarks to help us figure out where 8/8 or 6/8 would be. I made sure I had 0/8. Half of 8 is 4/8, and then the whole is 8/8. So going off of that, we can focus on where 6/8 would be. And 6/8 would be definitely past 4, right? And it would be a little bit in between 4 and 8. And so, boom, I'm thinking it's going to be right here. 6/8. Awesome. So based off of this information, which fraction is greater? 6/8 is. It's greater because it's closer to 1 whole. Or it is almost 1 whole. 6/8. All right, let's continue. Let's go into a problem that is a fraction greater than 1. So let's focus on this right here. We're going 0. We're going to 2 whole. We're going to 1 whole. And we are going to 1/2. And we're going to 1 and 1/2. Okay, awesome. So we are going to focus on C because I want to work with a problem that has a fraction greater than 1 or an improper fraction. So the 6/4 here, we're going to have to transform this 6/4 into a mixed number. So let's focus on changing that 6/4. So I'm going to change that 6/4. And if you see right here, we have fourths here. So that means I'm going to be taking out 4/4. And I'm going to have, what am I going to have left over? Well, you can kind of look at it as a subtraction problem, 6 subtract 4, and that means I'm going to have 2/4 left over. Or you can just know when we subtract 4/4 or take a whole out, we're going to have 2 left over. So now we have 1 whole, and we have 2/4. Awesome. So there is my mixed number here. That's my mixed number. All right, perfect. So now we got to place that. We got to put that mixed number out onto our number line. So remember, we are working with fourths. So I'm putting fourths, and then 1 and 2/4, and then 1 and 4/4. Awesome. So, perfect. 1 and 2/4 is literally right in 1 and 1/2. That's beautiful. Awesome. Perfect. I'm really happy that worked out. Now let's do 7/8. So 7/8 is over here, so I'm going to put eighths, and I'm going to put 4/8, and I'm going to put 8/8 here. Let me delete that, though. Let me erase it. So we got 8/8 here. Cool. So where would 7/8 go over here, right? Where would it go? Well, I'm thinking it's going to go right before 8/8. Cool. Or 1/2. So what fraction is greater? Yeah, definitely this 1 2/4 or 6/4. Boom. Perfect. All right, let's do one more practice. And my practice is going to focus one more time on that fraction greater than 1 so that you can really understand how we're doing it. So I'm going to work on F here. Okay, I'm working on F. So I'm going to work on F. We got 0, 2/2, 1/2, 1/2, and 1 1/2. All right. So here we can really focus on making sure that we place 8/9 correctly on our benchmark. So 8/9, well, I am going to have 0/9. I am going to have 9/9, and there really isn't a half here of 9ths. So it's going to be a question mark. But we at least have two good benchmarks to look at to represent and help us, guide us where we need to. And in just this case, 8/9, that is definitely really close to 9/9. So I know 8/9 goes here. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so next is 3/2. So now we need to we know that's an improper fraction, so we need to make it into a mixed number. So look at these halves. That means that we're going to take we're going to take a whole out. We're going to take two out, two halves out, and we are going to be left with 1/2 left over because 3 subtract 2 equals 1, right? And the denominator stays the same. So we have 1/2. So now this is that is 1/2, and we have 1/2 right next to it. Perfect. And lucky for us, this is an easy location on our number line. It is literally right here because this is 1 1/2, right? That is bingo. And we know this is much larger than 8/9. So, right there, 3/2 is much larger than 8/9. All right, everybody. I hope that this math was that we were able to work through some of this math and it wasn't too confusing. And I did 2 problems using and finding improper fractions, making them mixed numbers, and using our benchmark for our number line. So I hope today's math, I hope this helps and it helps guide you forward. All right, everybody. Have a good one.